What's up, you guys? How are you all? It's like so hot in here. Okay, it is boiling beyond. I have a fan right in front of my face on this side, and let me tell ya, wow, I haven't posted a video in quite some time. Literally, time is just gets away from you. I feel like once you have a kid, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like it's going faster. And I don't have like as much free time, you know, as I used to have basically. So I didn't have a chance to upload anything last week, but I'm here today. For today's video, I wanted to share with you guys, basically I wanted to talk about viral makeup products that I personally am going to be skipping out on, viral products that I honestly refuse to pick up for one reason or another. I think I have like 9 items. I tried to look for one more though, so it would be 10, but and 9 it is. A lot of the times with viral makeup products, sometimes I'll like get into the hype and like purchase a product just cause, and then after I buy it, I'm like, but what were you thinking? You know, I wasn't. I just got it because everyone else had it, so I felt like I needed to have it in my life. But not always are the viral makeup products, I feel like, the best, the it thing. But I'd absolutely love to know what your take is on this. Like, what product do you feel like everyone has and everyone speaks about, but you're like, I'm just not gonna buy that product. I'm just not gonna. Whether it's like a money thing that you just feel like you don't want to spend that kind of amount on that product, or just like you just know you're not gonna use it. Also, don't mind my background. I know it's not the hottest thing alive. I have to hook it up. I had to take off my shelves from here, so that's why it looks like what's going on over here. So hopefully I can get to it soon. Okay, so the first item that I feel like tons of people are raving about using, loving, is the Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. This is $24. I like the fact that it does have like that cooling wand to it, like almost like a metal tip in a way. But I feel like this really is just supposed to brighten. It's not supposed to give you really any coverage. And I feel like I already have other products that typically kind of do the same thing. Like the Pixie Under Eye Brightener. It's like it comes in a little tub. It's like in a peachy tone shade. I feel like that works out pretty nicely for me. And it's a little, I think a little bit more affordable, I want to say. But there are also like drugstore products that kind of do the same. I know for me personally, and what I'm looking for my under eye area is something that kind of gives me fullish coverage. Even if I'm going for a more natural look, I feel like my under eye is always the area where I'm like, I need a nice amount of coverage. So this is it. Like, if I'm gonna wear makeup, it's either gonna be absolutely nothing, or if I'm gonna, even if I'm going for a more like, you know, just blush, mascara and brows type of look, I'm always gonna put on concealer under my eyes, because otherwise it looks like someone punched me. So for my routine, it just doesn't seem like something I'd probably reach for as much as I do want it, because everyone has it and makes it look amazing, and you know, I can kind of mix it with my concealer and all of that. It's kind of like, you're not really gonna use it, so don't lie. Liora, don't lie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's not something that I'm refusing to buy. I'm definitely not picking that up. The next item I had to speak about is the Dior Lip Glow Oils. So these are $40 each, and there are a number of shades in the line. We have like a clear shade, pinky tone shades, just really, really stunning colors. And I want to say the size of this is kind of tiny for, you know, for like what you get. Like, it's like you get for your little product. I can't tell you guys how many times I put this in my cart on Sephora site, or, you know, went to the actual Sephora store and put it in my like basket. But then when I went to pay, I'm like, I'm just not gonna buy this. I'm not spending $40 on an oil that I feel like there are a gazillion dupes for out there. But also, like, for this product, I feel like I know I'm paying for the name, which, you know, sometimes I'll do that. Like, okay, fine, I know it's not really worth it, but because it's Dior, or because it's, let's say, Valentino, whatever, I'm like, okay, I want it just because, you know. But with this, like, I love Dior products, but I just, very hard for my heart to spend $40 on an oil. It's just like, I don't know, like, I feel like drugstore does it so well that it's almost like mascara. Like, very rarely will I buy a mascara that's really high end. Here and there, like, you know, I will. But there are so many good drugstore ones that it almost feels like an absolute waste, you know. I would love your take on this though, because maybe I'm missing out on something in my life by not purchasing these. Just, I can't do it. $40? When I get tickets, you know, driving around New York and stuff, it just annoys me because I feel like that money seems so wasteful. Like, I'd rather give that money to a person in need. Do you know what I mean? Or like an organization or someone who's struggling. So that's what I feel like about this specific product. So let me know your take on it though. The next item is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Pink Lemonade Swirl. So Laneige recently like just launched this, I want to say. It's $25. I know that these little tubs of lip masks used to be like, I think 23, maybe even 21. But I feel like slowly they're kind of creeping up the prices. I do really like these lip masks from Laneige. I have, I think, 2 or 3 currently, like different scents. I just love how they kind of switch it up. But with this one, it's like they just put 2 cents in one, raise the price a bit, and it's like, is this really anything special? Do you know what I mean? I have like I said, 2 or 3 other ones that I can kind of mix and match together. I know the vibe of this is really cool. It's very pretty. I'm not gonna spend $25 on 2 cents that are mixed together. I'll just, like I said, take 2 cents of mine, mix it together in the same like container, and call it a day, you know? So I refuse to pick this up for the price tag especially. It's honestly just not gonna happen. Okay, then we have the Cheek Clapper 3D Blush Trio from One Size. So these, it's 38 bucks. These specific tones I feel like are so insanely popular right now. It's interesting because like maybe like in 2014-ish, 2015, I had a number of these kind of blushes that I absolutely loved. But I found that really no one was talking about these kind of shades. They weren't like easily accessible. A lot of brands were not even making these kind of colors, and I'm like, but why? It's such a good color. You know me, I love like bright pinky shades on the lips, on the cheeks. I wear, but not as much as on the lips. And I just find that with this specific one, I know I swatched it in store, I just felt like the undertone was just would not really work out for me. I have a few other ones from a few other brands that have a similar color shade to this, and I feel like they work out well, but a lot of times with these colors it could look really ashy and chalky on the skin. So I feel like there's a really fine line between the ones that are really good and the ones that are not so good. Also with this, I'm never going to use the like highlighter because it's way too pink. And then like you just get the cream and powder blush, which if I'm already getting something like this, I'd rather personally get the Patrick Ta one. That's just, you know, me. But yeah, it's just something that I honestly have seen everyone use. It's actually currently sold out at the moment. The other blush trios that he has are not sold out, but this specific one is. So it just shows that people are really into it, and I'm like, I just don't understand though. So I skipped it and I'm not bringing that up, and I definitely don't plan on it. Next, Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking Setting Powder in the pink shade. So it's called Cherry Blossom. It's like a whitish slash pinky toned loose powder. Personally, I love the Huda Beauty loose setting powders in general. I use the shade Cupcake, I want to say is what I use generally, or Pound Cake, one of those. I never really thought about getting Cherry Blossom, but then it became so popular. It was sold out for ages. Millions of other brands started coming out with the same thing because they saw Huda Beauty got that hype, you know? So they're like, I'm jumping on this. But for me, it's like I just never felt interested in trying a pink under eye loose powder. Like I'm just so happy with like the off-white type of color that just works out for my skin tone. I feel like it would leave like a pinky under eye white pink cast type of thing. I've seen other people use the Cherry Blossom shade, and I see kind of why they like it. Like there is something to it, but I just feel like I'm really happy with my other like shades, so it's not really a color that I'm gonna get. Also, it's 38 bucks, and I just don't think it's one that I'm gonna consistently use. If I'm really interested, I've seen people do this on Instagram where they take a little bit of their blush, they kind of spoolie a little bit of the product into a white loose powder and kind of create like a lighter pink tone loose powder, so you can kind of see how that works out for your skin tone, see if you like it. I think it'll be fun to kind of play around with and experiment with. But also with this, let me know if you guys try this, and let me know if you prefer like your off-white slash whitish loose powder, or you're on the like pink like bandwagon. I actually have not been sold yet, so definitely try to convince me because I would love to hear your feedback on this. Okay, next we have the Cosmic Crush High Pigment Eyeshadow Palette by Too Faced. This is a $52 eyeshadow palette. I mean, I feel like we all already know that this is probably going to be at TJ Maxx at some point or another. And for some reason, I feel like this specific palette got more hype than a lot of the other Too Faced palettes. I actually don't really know why. I love their regular natural, I think it's called Natural Nudes palettes. They have 2, I want to say, but I love the original one. It's just like very much so my style. I use it all of the time. This I feel like has a lot of similar tones to a million other palettes they released, and when it comes to the deeper like glittery shades, I'm never gonna touch those. But I've seen so many people rave about this, create stunning looks, and I'm kind of like, should I purchase it, should I not? I'm keep going back and forth with this one. But then I'm like, I'm just not gonna use it. So if I'm already spending, I always say this, but like if I'm already spending $52, I want to know that I'm spending it on something that I'm like fully obsessed with, I'm invested in. And another item that I have here is actually from Dior. So I spoke about the Dior lip oil in the beginning of the video, and now here I have the Dior Addict Lip Glow. This pretty much falls under the same category as lip oil. It's a $40 product. It's supposed to give you like this, I feel like most of the shades are supposed to work with your pH level. It's supposed to make your lips look really nice and hydrated and like juicy and just like nice, you know. And because it's Dior, also has like that nice luxe packaging, and I would love to get it for the packaging. But again, with this also, every time I put it in my cart, where I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna try it, and I cannot pull through with it. It's $40 for something. Ew, there's a disgusting bee fly situation by the window. Yeah, I just can't seem to spend 40 bucks in it because I feel like a decent amount of other products that are extremely similar to this. And especially now these days, a lot of drugstore brands I feel like are duping like high-end brands. And I'm all about getting like the more expensive item and not always the dupe. Like I love kind of trying out a bunch of different stuff, but honestly, when it comes down to this one, I could never pull through. It almost just seems like I'm throwing $40 up in the air and being like, this is a free-for-all situation. Okay, next, e.l.f. Cosmetics just launched their liquid poreless putty primer. So they have like the more like solid putty primer that I personally love. I think it's really good. I have a few different versions of them, and I think it's just a solid drugstore, like affordable primer that actually does the job. So they released the liquid version that I feel like is supposed to be a dupe for like the Tatcha Luminous Silk Canvas Primer. I forgot what it's called. But I have a decent amount of the regular e.l.f. ones, and I do really like them, but I don't feel like I actually need to have this in my life just because it's the liquid form of something that I already have like probably 4 of. So as much as I love e.l.f. and I've tried probably like 90% of their makeup items, and anytime they release goods I'm always on it, this was just an item that I felt like it's nice. It just seemed a little bit repetitive for me, and I get that they wanted to kind of like fill in like or kind of complete the dupe vibes of Tatcha because they already duped the, you know, the more putty style primer, and now they wanted to do this one, so I completely get it. And it might be maybe a little bit of an easier product to use because it's not as stiff, but I just don't want to be spending $9-10 on something that I don't really need in my life, to be honest. And then the final item here that I'm definitely not picking up, this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Skin Intuitive 12-Hour Blush. This is $30. I feel like with Tarte, a lot of their items end up going on sale, so it's very hard for me to purchase an item for the full price tag. Occasionally I will, but not always, because they're always having like 20, 30, 40% off sale. This is an item that I feel like, well, there were a million of these kind of blushes out, and then out of nowhere I feel like Tarte released one, and it's kind of like, was there really even thought put into this, or just kind of like, did you see everyone else put it out, so you were like, let's do it too? I swatched this in store. Oh my goodness. Usually with these kind of blushes, like I said, they're very hit or miss. This one, you can almost immediately tell how much of a miss it is. I mean, there's 4 stars on Sephora, and apparently it's on a 5 stars, so people are disagreeing with me, but let me tell you, it was so chalky and powdery and thin in a way where it looked, I don't know, it looked really off. I tried to apply a little bit on my cheeks with my hands. I know it's not the best application, but if you're gonna spend that amount of money on this kind of blush, not this brand. Again, I feel like Patrick Ta has a really good option, and his is like a few dollars more and you actually get 2 in 1. So it just seemed like a little bit overpriced for what it is, and I feel like it just kind of like was thrown into the bandwagon. It's like, oh my gosh, another pink blush, but it's like, it's not really even that good, you know? So anyway, I am refusing to pick that up, okay? I would definitely love to know your feedback on all the products that I spoke about today. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, what's your take on these super expensive products that are super viral? Like, are you on it? Are you over it? Like, what's the vibe? Keep me posted, and I will see you guys in my next one.